Another Dooley Noted Podcast comes to you from the Coach's Podcast Room at Spurrier's Gridiron Grill in Celebration Point.
Alberta, I understand you were witnesses to a crash. Can you tell us about the accident? When you're in a crash, it's important to get witness statements immediately after the accident. Whether you're in a car, truck, motorcycle, scooter, or even a golf cart accident, at Meldon Law, we won't back down.
Another Dooley Noted Podcast comes to you from the Coaches Podcast Room at Spurrier's Gridiron Grill and Celebration Point. You can watch and listen to us on Facebook and YouTube for every podcast that we do on Mondays and Fridays at 2 o'clock. Listen to the podcast whenever on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Overcast, any of the other 39 platforms where you can find this podcast or your favorite podcast. Remember to like, follow, and subscribe. If you have any questions or comments, leave them in the comments section below or call me if you want to do some advertising at 352-317-3444.
Great food, great atmosphere, a diverse menu, everything made from scratch, plenty of space, and locally owned. These are all the characteristics of a great restaurant, and you can find each and every one of them right here in Gainesville at Ballyhoo Grill. Ballyhoo Grill prepares all of their food fresh every day, from their salad dressing to their award-winning soups. Bring your family and enjoy dinner under the Tim Trebo Tiki Hut while listening to live music. Or if you're running low on time to eat out, they also deliver through Uber Eats, Fight Squad, and Postmates. A Gainesville staple that's been open for over 30 years. Check out Ballyhoo Grill on Facebook or at ballyhoogrill.com.
Hello there, everybody. I'm Pat Dooley, of course, from Another Dooley Noted Podcast. And this is a great Adam Brewer, and he's just opened up a place here, Adam Brewer To Go. What gave you the idea to do this, to have a to-go place like this?
We really like the fast concept, being able to get the barbecue. Now we have this new online ordering. So before it was a call ahead carry out, quick service. We have like a curbside kind of a deal where everything's ready to go for you. And then we thought, wow, we have a really great dine-in concept, but how can we make this streamlined for the customer and make it easy and accessible for all parts of town?
Adam's Rib Co. To Go. Come on down and enjoy it.
Things have certainly got a little out of hand lately when it comes to just buying our everyday necessities. Just look at gas, streaming services, and heck, even chicken wings. Well, there is one necessity that shouldn't cost a ton: taking care of yourself and helping fix all the aches and pains in life. And the fine folks at Titan MRI agree. With costs a fraction of what you'd pay at a hospital, you'll not only save money, you'll be taken care of by staff with over 20 years experience. So when you need an MRI, call Titan first, and you can go where your doctors send their families. Now offering CAT scans.
Oh my gosh, I can't even believe this. Look what you have done to my truck.
Excuse me, it's your fault, it's not my fault.
Yes, it is your fault. I am calling Jeffrey Meldon from Meldon Law.
So I'm gonna call Jeffrey, my husband.
Meldon Law, this is Jeffrey speaking.
Jeffrey! This crazy lady here, this crazy lady, he might...
New client? Yes, but this one might be a little tricky.
All right. Welcome back. I just had to change shirts real quick. So we appreciate Meldon Law, though, for providing us with those shirts, and appreciate Coach Spurrier for being on here. Let us do our Leonardo's and Millhopper quick picks. We always love this. In fact, I just got all of it covered. I sent George Luttrell, got his. He confirmed that he got his package. He was thrilled with it. And we talked about it Friday. Ryan also won a package, and he was thrilled with that. I mean, there was a lot of good stuff in there, a lot of fun stuff, and plus $25 gift certificate at Leonardo's and Millhopper, which we do for every winner. And we only had here's the funny thing. This was my funny story about Leonardo's and Millhopper quick picks. I was watching the Red Sox-Yankees game, which was the thing that you had to pick. And the Yankees are killing them. I'm like, this is ridiculous. I didn't even know that the day before the Red Sox had come back and won. I just kind of been oblivious to it. So I start writing down all the winners, all the qualifiers for the Leonardo's and Millhopper quick picks. And then all of a sudden I go, you better check the score. Well, it turns out the Red Sox came back and destroyed them. And actually, that was good for them because they now are they ended up splitting the series. So we only had 2 qualifiers. So you guys, which I don't blame you. I would have picked the Yankees too. So here's our new one to qualify. And again, we'll do a drawing in a couple of weeks. Horschel, will Billy Horschel make the cut at the British Open? So we won't know the answer to that till Friday afternoon. We may know it by the time we get on the show Friday. Again, Sean Kelly, I think, is going to be our guest. We hope he is, the new voice of the Gators. The one thing to remember about Billy Horschel, I love Billy Horschel. You know me, I'm a big fan. But he's played in 7 British Opens and only made the cut twice. His best major finish is the top 10. And Billy Horschel is ranked 15th in the country, or 15th in the world, or any country. But he is, in majors, he has never played really well. And I think a lot of it is he gets too hyped up. He's too amped up. He is a very excitable boy. I love him to death. I've sent him texts over and over again telling him to just breathe sometimes. And I don't know. Sometimes that's all he needs to do. All right. We don't have Robbie on yet, do we? Okay. So let's get to the Adams Ribco to Go Gators of the weekend. And we have 2 of them for you, and they're both softball related, and they both have to do with the USA national team, which is Tim Walton is a coach on. And they had, shockingly, they're in Hoover, which is not my favorite place. They're in Hoover. The funny thing is, it would have been cool to go to these games if we were going to the SEC Media Days, but SEC Media Days are in Atlanta this year. Maybe that's why Hoover needed something. But they're playing at the same field, the Hoover Met that the baseball is at. But the Adams Ribco to Go Gators of the weekend, Michelle Moultrie, 2 RBI in the win over Italy on Sunday. And then they came back. Amanda Lorenz got the walk-off double to win the game. It was a run rule double, but it still was a walk-off against Taipei. So Michelle Moultrie and Amanda Lorenz. You thought you were out, but I pulled you back in because that's what I do. So you are our Gators of the weekend. All right, I got that phone number, so that's good. You're our Gators of the weekend from Adams Ribco to Go. And, of course, Adams Ribco to Go, what a great place that is. You just walk in there and just, hey, whatever you want, you get it, and it's just tremendous. We love it so much. So Robbie's still not on? He is on. And I probably would need him. All right, we're struggling a little bit today again. We're getting there though. We're getting there. And now we bring to you Robbie Andrew. Robbie, are you there?
Yeah, Pat. You're struggling,
I can hear
huh?
You. Well,
Cool.
you know how it is. I screw things up and then, I try to blame other people. So, as you know. How was your trip to how was your trip to the mountains, by the way?
It was great, Pat. Very relaxing. Lots of good stuff and lots of beer. It was great.
Never bad when it's a lot of beer. There's no question about that.
No.
All right, speaking of which.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I was going to say we went tubing down a river one day. We rented a pontoon boat another day. It was great.
You went to a Braves game too, or didn't you?
No, we went the night we were there, Pat. The Braves were on the road, but there was still a fun atmosphere around the Battery. You need to go up there and experience.
I gotta go. That's really something I need to do. I just need to do it. Everybody goes except me. Steve Hummer's got a place for me. I've already been told
Pat, we stayed at the hotel right there at the Battery, so we could walk down there and walk back. It was great.
What was the hotel?
A loft.
Okay. We'll do that.
It's right next to everything, so you don't have to worry about drinking and driving. And I would love to go to a Braves game, but the atmosphere there at the time we went outside the game was unreal.
Yeah, well, I mean, of course, they're playing really well, as are your Twins.
Yeah, we're hanging in there a little bit.
Yep. All right, are you ready to play Yes, Nowhere, Maybe? Of course, it is brought to you as Robbie's appearances are brought to you by Big Mills Cheesesteaks. If you go to Big Mills Cheesesteaks, where street dining is done right, you can get free fries with your order. if you just mention Another Dooley Noted Podcast, and Robbie comes to you on the Big Mills Cheesesteak Zoom line, and Big Mills Cheesesteak is also the sponsor of Yes, No, Way, or Maybe. Number one, Robbie, you ready for this?
Yeah.
Tiger,
maybe I'm ready.
Tiger makes the cut in the British Open.
I'm going to say no way, Pat, just based on, what's happened in the previous times he's gone out there where, he made the cut and then got tired. And I don't know. I just don't see him making the cut this time or being a factor. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he's recovered a lot and gotten stronger in the last month and a half or so. But, the way he closed out those last two, he's just not ready, Pat.
Well, I will tell you, watching him today playing in that Champions thing, we only had to play 4 holes. Apparently played 45 holes the other day. I think he's back to physically being able to handle it. Doesn't mean his game is going to be that sharp. It's still not playing competitive golf. I'm going to go with he will make the cut. He won't be in contention, but he will make the cut. I will say this. It is fun to see Tiger Woods enjoying his place in history, which he is doing over there. You can tell.
I saw him goofing around with Rory on the practice screen on Twitter earlier. It's kind of funny. The balls, his feet and everything. Rory's feet knocking his ball away. It was pretty funny. So he's having fun.
Yeah, he is having a great time, and seeing the hug he gave Barbara Nicholas today was so cool. It's good.
Oh, yeah.
All right, number 2. There will be more movement in the realignment talks. There will be somebody moves from one league to another before the start of college football season.
I'd say probably maybe, Pat. I mean, look at everything that's been going on. Who would have thought that, USC and UCLA would have bolted like they have, kind of coming out of nowhere. So, there's a lot of stuff going on, a lot of talk behind the scenes about possible movement and things. I know there's a lot of talk about Miami, FSU, maybe jumping to the SEC. So I would say, maybe something's going to happen.
I don't want Miami in the SEC. I can live with FSU, but I don't want Miami.
Why don't you want Miami, Pat?
Well, nobody watches their games in person or on TV. I mean, they just don't watch them. FSU people still watch them. Yeah.
I know, and yet, Pat, they look at they're killing it in recruiting right now. I just don't get that.
I know. It's, again, if you've got enough money in the NIL, that tends to happen. Finally, Robbie.
But Pat, look at the home atmosphere of Miami game compared to Florida State. It doesn't compare.
No, I don't.
If you're a recruit, don't you see that?
No, you don't think you care. I think you only care about who's going to pay you the most money. I really do.
Yeah, that's what's coming down to.
All right, finally for you, I'm doing this thing for tomorrow on what would be like. There's a scene in Groundhog Day, which I know you like too. It's a great movie.
Oh yeah.
Where Bill Murray says, I had this one day where I met this girl. We ate all this great food. We drank pina coladas, and we made love by the beach like sea otters. There's a day, and he goes, why can't I have that day over and over again? Well, Karen and I were talking about this, and I said the one day I would want to have over again, if I could live any day over again, was the day of the national championship celebration. Because you were with me, and we went out and partied like it was, 1999, although it was 1996. And Gainesville, the whole street was covered with all these people in downtown Gainesville. That, to me, was the greatest day. Would it rank in your top 10, say?
It's probably got to be in the top 10, Pat. And you're right. That was a great day. I mean, covering the whole ceremony was great, too, with Spurrier, coaching everybody up on how to chant, we're number one. And, then seeing the players react to the fans. And then when we were done writing, it was a huge party all over town. It was unbelievable. So, I put that in my top 10.
Yeah, he was on the show earlier talking about how emotional that whole ceremony was for him. So,
it was.
I think it holds up.
I was doing fine at that ceremony until I looked over and saw John Humanick kind of tearing up. And was like, God, this means a lot to a lot of people.
Well, I remember the day that they won it, which would probably be another day. Although, what about the night before at Tipitina's? Would that qualify?
That was a great one too. That was a great time, Pat.
If only we could remember it. But I remember your dad was welling up after the game.
Yeah, he was. He was smiling and crying at the same time. I have a picture of that, which is really one of my favorite pictures of all time. Smiling and crying at the same time.
All right, we'll let you go, Robbie. We appreciate your time as always. And,
okay, Pat. Have a good day.
I'll be talking to you soon.
Okay, see you, Pat.
All right, Robbie Andrew. You always love having him on. Again, Robbie Andrew's sponsorships are available. I mean, his sponsorships on Yes, No, We Are Maybe are brought to you by Big Mills Cheesesteaks. But look, if you want to get in, we've got a lot of things we're going to offer and a lot of possibilities to do going forward. Look, we just got to get to July, man. July is brutal, and even though there are media days and stuff, it's when August comes that is the beginning of college football season. Because that is a funny thing to me. Everybody's going to tell you college football season starts with media days. It doesn't. It starts with camp. Once teams report to camp and news starts to come out, that's when it starts. But even then, it doesn't really start then. All right, let us get our Power 5 and Bottom 3. And again, we're looking for a sponsor here. Maybe this idea I came up with is not going to last, Evan. It just may not be enough to sustain a sponsorship. But we're going to keep doing it for a while until somebody comes forward as a sponsor. And it's really cheap. I'll make it cheap for you. The Power 5 is number one is still the Yankees, even though they lost their last two games. And, of course, it's kind of funny. They're so good. But they're 5-5 in their last 10. So I'm kind of hoping this is the beginning of a little decline. Losing those two games in a row to the Red Sox, I doubt it. They're 61-26. They're 14 games ahead. I don't think they have much to worry about. Number two, the Dodgers, who have won 7 in a row. Thank you very much. I hate them. I don't know why all the great teams, when I'm doing this, have to be teams I don't like. Number 3 is the Mets, and number 4 is the Braves. And the only reason the Mets are ahead of the Braves is because they're 1.5 games ahead. We're coming for you. We're coming, and it starts tonight. Tonight, I think it's 7:30 game. Braves and Mets, 3-game series. I mean, we play 15 more times. It's not going to be decided tonight. But, man, I want to watch it. I got to find some place where I can watch it. I don't think it's on regular human TV. It's only on Peachtree TV or whatever freaking network they have. What is it, Peachtree or Ballyhoo? We love Ballyhoo, but we don't love the Bally Network, Bally Sports. I just want to watch the game. But you know what's funny is when I watch the game, I'll go, I'm kind of bored. And I'll turn over to something else. Anyway. All right, so the Braves are and by the way, the Braves have the 3rd most runs in Major League Baseball right now. So it's always more fun when your team is good and they're scoring. Like you're always in these situations, like in the old days with Maddox and Glavine and Smoltz, I didn't know any better. But you'd win every game 3-2. Now they're winning games in other ways, and it's been fun to watch. And finally, I have to put the Astros in there. At number 5, they're 8-2 in their last 10. That's the biggest reason. They're 12 games up. Again, another team I don't like. Could be a tough offseason or a tough postseason for me. But by postseason, guess what? Football's going to be going on. So that's all I'm going to care about. I go, oh, the Braves have played tonight? Yeah, okay. That's just the way I am. All right, the bottom 3, as we like to do, we'll put the Washington Nationals, who just a few years ago won a World Series championship. They are 1-9 in their last 10 games, so clearly they have given up 24 games out. Is it? Do you think they have a chance? And Washington Nationals only 24 games behind first place. How about no? I don't think that's going to happen. Oakland is a mere 28 games out. Is Billy Beane still the guy there? I guess he is. I don't even know. I meant to look that up because I love the movie Moneyball. Okay, I love it. But Billy Beane's not getting it done there. And then finally, Kansas City, which is 16-26, both home and away. That's their record, both home and away. Say they're equal opportunity losers, the Kansas City Royals. And weren't they just in the World Series a few years ago? This is where baseball, the one good thing about baseball, and I'm not a huge baseball guy, you know that. But one good thing about baseball is you never know, one year to the next, what's going to happen. You know, free agency happens. For example, the Braves this year, part of the reason they've gotten on this run is they brought up this pitcher who's been great, and they brought up Michael Harris, who's been unbelievable. Money Mike, they're calling him. I mean, but you never know when you bring these guys up. Austin Riley had the game-winning hit again. He's been really good. You never know, though, when you bring them up. You don't know if they're going to be good or not. All right, finally, it is time for our Hesser and Kipke. 3 things. We save this for last because it's the best. And Hesser and Kipke, of course, we all are big fans of them. And Ken Hesser and Jennifer Kipke, who have done an unbelievable job being sponsors here of our show. And we appreciate how long they've been doing it. And we hope to keep them. We want to keep them forever. Get to us this summer. We'll get to football season. It's going to be so much fun. I promise you. 3 things. 3 things. No, the 3 things is brought to you. I actually misread that. I said 3 things, and I went, no, it's not 3 things. It's 3 things. 3 things is brought to you by Hesser and Kipke, a law firm based in Hale Plantation specializing in employment, workers' comp, and family law. Visit their website at www.hklawfl.com or call Ken and Jennifer, 352-339-9920. And print that on your brain, 339-9920. Call them if you've got any problems with workers' comp, employment, family law, anything like that. We appreciate them. And when you help our sponsors, whether it's Leonardo's, Adams, Ballyhoo, Big Mills, Hand Law, anybody you help, anybody you go to, it helps us, okay? Just so you know. All right, number 1 on 3 things. I'm fed up with this Kyrie Durant every day. You know, like on Mondays especially, sometimes on Fridays, I'll go to the networks and see, hey, what are they talking about? Let's see if there's something. Kevin Durant, where's he going to go? Kyrie Irving, I don't know. Look, you guys have one more week of this. NFL camps open next week, and nobody's going to care about the NBA. That's good. I don't care about the NBA most of the time, but I care about it during the playoffs. But just tell me where these guys end up, and I'll figure out who I'm rooting for and who I'm not rooting for. That's number 1 on Hesser and Kipke's 3 things. Number 2 is the and Coach Spurrier mentioned it, Djokovic winning Wimbledon. But the funniest thing of all time was Kira, I don't know how to say his name. I don't know anybody's name, okay, anymore. Kyrgios was complaining about a woman who was talking to him between every point. And he said, when he sat down, he said, that woman over there, the one who's had 700 drinks. And I was trying to think about 700 drinks and what that would entail. Whether you could do 700 drinks in a year. But she might have had 700 drinks. And this is Wimbledon, man. You're not supposed to be drinking. You're supposed to be sipping champagne, stuff like that. But that still was the funniest thing. And by the way, number 3, SEC volleyball preseason poll is out. As of today, Florida is picked 2nd. Used to be they were always picked 1st, but obviously other teams have come up. Kentucky is picked number 1. They were actually got 10 first-place votes. I think Florida had 2. But that's the way it is. I mean, the SEC, this was always the lament of Mary Wise. The SEC's got to get better. The SEC's got to get better because if the SEC gets better, it makes our RPI better. It makes us better. And the SEC has gotten better. But it doesn't mean you're going to win it every year when it gets better. But they've been very good. We love her, and we hope she's going to do great. The season starts August 26th. We're not that far away from that, from volleyball starting. So I think that's it. I think I got everything covered. Look at the scribble on here. Could you read any of this? Not at all. Any of it? And somehow I got through an entire show and a long show. We went long, and I apologize to Tammy for that, who was our producer today. She had to stay in here 3 minutes longer than she normally would, maybe 4. But we will get out of here. And, of course, Evan, as always, here. We love him so much, and we'll be back on Friday. Hopefully it'll be Sean Kelly will be our guest, and we'll talk to him about being the new voice of the Gators. I'll come up with different stuff than normal people have come up with so far. You know me. And appreciate all of you for watching or listening. We had a little bit of a sound problem earlier with Coach Spurrier. If you want to go back and listen to it, I think it'll work out, right? We'll work on it. We'll work on it. We got to work on that. We're going to work on things. It's summer. We'll get there. Although he was good today. He was really good today. He's good all the time. All right. Another Dooley Noted Podcast, as always, is presented to you by Titan MRI from the Meldon Law Gator Studios. I am Pat Dooley. I am deep. I'm way back. And I am out of here.